red and matched by under the blind. The acoustic version of Trains by Porcupine Tree. We're capoed here at fret 2. On the original studio version he's capoing up at fret 5, but for the acoustic one, and indeed for live ones that he does now, he capos down at fret 2, I guess to suit his voice a bit better. And we're strumming all the way through this in 16th notes. We'll talk more about that as we go through, but we're going to start with bars 1 and 2. Going into the first beat of bar 3. So we're going to start on this D sus2 chord, make a D chord, open up the first string. And we're going to come up, down, up, down, up. But the important thing to understand is it's a pickup. We're thinking in 16th notes, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, and this is coming in on a 4 E and a. So we're going 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, and then 1 will be C add 9, where you leave the ring finger in place, 2nd string, 3rd fret, and you want to add the 4th string at 2, 5th string at 3, but we're going to hammer in to the low end of that chord by strumming somewhere down the low end of the chord and hammering these 2 fingers into that shape. The ring finger stays in place throughout that. And what we're playing in total is this, slowly. So I'll give you this strum pattern kind of once, and then for the most of the song I'm not going to worry too much about strum patterns, because the key thing is that it's coming out of the 16th note movement of the right hand. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. So here we're going hammer, down, up, touch the bass, down, down, up, down, move to D sus2, up, down, up, down, up. That's like the pickup was. And 4 E and a. So we're counting 1 E and a, 2 and 3 E and a, 4 E and a. But rather than slavishly trying to copy that pattern, let's talk about what's really important in there. To get the sound of this track, really important is the initial hammer on, and that it changes to the D sus2 on the and of 3 and 4 E and a. Otherwise, it doesn't matter what you strum as long as your right hand is moving in 16th note. So your right hand, whether it hits the strings or not, on any given up or down, is moving. I'll mute the strings here. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. But at this speed. Yeah. Now just let your right hand move in that motion. Miss strings wherever you feel it. Hit the strings where you feel it. That's going to get a much more natural feel to the strumming than trying to slavishly copy ups and downs. But as I mentioned before, what is key to the sound is that hammer on and the move to D sus2 on and 4 E and a. Now we're going to go to E minor at bar 3. Now we're hammering into the first chord as we did on C add 9. Down, up, whatever you're playing. And then on the and of 2, 2 E and a, we're hammering again, but this time he only hammers the 5th string, he lets the 4th string ring open. 2 E and a, 3 E and then D sus2 as before, a 4 E and a. So 1 E. 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Now it gets a wee bit easier because bar 4 is the same as bar 2 was, C add 9 going to D sus2. And the E minor that follows going to D sus2 is the same as bar 3 was. C add 9 to D sus2 again at bar 6. And now what he does here at bar 7 is he goes to E minor add 9, 5th string at 2, 4th string at 4, doesn't hammer anything here. But we're still going to go to D sus2 on the and 4 E and a. So 1 and a, 2 E and, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, something like that. strum anything you like out of the E minor add 9 chord, but go to D sus2 on the and 4 E ander, you know. Again for C add 9 to D sus2. And again with the hammered E minor, and this time, listening carefully, I think he's hammering a full E minor both times, but it won't matter. And of course he's singing at the end of that. Transcendent. And of course he's singing at the end of that. Transcendent. Still going to the D sus2 but beginning to sing. That's your intro. Let's go back over that again slowly.